There is no control. Control is merely an illusion. We're all just playing a game. I have to constantly remind myself that. When we get worked up, when we get angry at something, we can't accept something. We can't accept something that's always exactly how it's going to be. It's just a game. We just have to surrender. It's something I constantly remind myself. You just surrender, accept it. There is no control. There's no control over anything. Everything. We're just playing in our karmic runoff. That's all we're doing. You know how I know there's no control? Because I've had dreams my whole life that were seemingly meaningless and, arbitrary dreams that I had no idea who the people in them were or what the situation was. It was completely foreign to me. But then years later, that exact situation with those exact people who I didn't know at the time of the dream happens. The exact thing. And not only has it happened once or twice or 3 times, countless times. It constantly happens. That dreams from years ago actually happen in real life. What does that tell me? That tells me we're playing a game. We're just walking through life, not even in control of anything. That means no matter what decisions I thought I was making in life, the exact thing that was always going to happen happens, right? Because I premonition basically. So what's that mean? That means, are we even in control of anything? No, we're definitely not. Even the people who are on the bad guys, let's say, the negative forces, you think they're even in control? No. They're just playing their karmic runoff. They're just playing their part. It's everything's written. The Akashic records, everything, the past and the future, it's all there. We're not in control of anything. So what does that mean? That means we can just relax. At least we can try. We can just relax and just be the observer. That's all there really is to do, is be the observer and be present. Because when we're the present, we're with God. We just got to keep reminding ourselves that it's easy to get caught in this game of life and these emotions, the emotional traps. We all have emotional trauma, every single one of us, from our parents, from our schools, from friends, from work situations, from whatever, from life, from the television, from the news. We all have emotional trauma, and they purposefully do not show us how to deal with this emotional trauma. What they do is they exacerbate it by giving us junk food and substances, alcohol, drugs, whatever. By giving that to almost say like, oh yeah, everybody's got emotional trauma here. Eat some junk food, make yourselves worse, destroy your body, destroy your mind, destroy your mental and emotional state even more. So that's part of the prison society. They exacerbate our stress and our emotional trauma and our health problems. Big Pharma and the medical establishment, the only thing they do is exacerbate health problems. That's all they do. When you take a pharmaceutical, you're taking something toxic that's suppressing a symptom. A symptom is your body trying to tell you something's seriously wrong and you need to stop eating shit and eat better. That's it. You know what I mean? So we have no control. So what's the main goal? Well, it's always to stay present and relax. This is something I make. It's funny. I was thinking I make these videos as much for myself as for anybody else, really. I'm trying to remind myself. I'm trying to remind ourselves, because we're all one. So who am I even talking to here? Who am I talking to? I'm talking to myself, because we're all one. We're all just talking to each other. We're all just interacting with each other. And the sooner we can realize that we're all just each other, we're all one, right? The sooner we can start just loving one another unconditionally. Because whoever's eyes you look in, you're looking in the eyes of your brother or yourself. However deep you want to go, right? Everyone is God in drag, as Ram Dass said. So let's just start relaxing. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to myself. Let's just start relaxing. Let's just start relaxing. You are me are you. Relax, stay present, just be observer. Remember, there is no negative and positive. That's another game they drag us into in this physical reality. There's no negative and positive, really. Everything's one. That's just part of duality. Separation. Anytime we put labels on anything, that creates separation. So every time they label a group to say this group of people is more important or different than this group of people, they're just creating more division. And they do that on purpose. That's creating more separation. Anything you label is creating separation. That's why we don't need to label things like races, like the race. You're just creating more separation. We're all just like human beings. That's it. You know what I mean? So it's all about unity. It's all about just relaxing and being the observer. It's all about non-attachment, as Buddha talks about. That's why non-attachment is so important, because we got to realize, he says, how long have we been doing this? Imagine a mountain 6 miles wide by 6 miles long by 6 miles high. And every 100 years, I've heard this story told a few different ways, but this is the most recent way. Every 100 years, a bird drops a silk scarf over the mountain. This is something Buddha said. Apparently, this is from Ram Dass. The time it takes for those silk scarves to wear down that mountain is how long we've been doing this. So this life is a blink of an eye. It's literally just a blink. It's in the spectrum of our being. Well, as part of the God, we're infinite. There's no beginning and there's no end, because we're infinite. So really, we need to just relax. You need to relax. That's it. Everywhere, no matter where you are or what you're doing, relax. You don't got to think about anything. Why? Because everything's perfect. There's nothing to think about. Everything's exactly where it's going to be, where it's meant to be, where it's supposed to be. As are you. As is every situation you encounter, or whatever encounter in life. That's exactly where it was always going to be, and it's for the exact reason for someone's karma, or someone to learn a lesson, or that's just part of the whole flow of things. We got to go with the flow. We got to be the surfer and ride the wave of life, man. Stop trying to fight the water. You can't fight the water. If you try to fight the wave, if you try to go against what is, or let your mind push you against what is, then we're always going to lose. You're always going to lose. You can't fight the wave. You got to go with. You just got to ride it. Just like Bruce Lee said. Just flow with the water, or whatever he said. Be a drop of water flow in the river. I don't know what the hell he said. It's something like that. That's all we can really do. And then we got to learn how to detach ourselves emotionally from everything and everyone. If even someone very close to us, because we're just the observers. We really have no control. Once we start to stop thinking more, we see that. We see we're still automatically moving, doing what we're supposed to do in whatever that moment of our life. So all there really is to do is relax. What are we even doing? Do by not doing. Like Tao Te Ching says. Do you have the patience enough to relax until your muddy waters are clear? Do you have something like that? Do you have the patience enough to do nothing until your muddy waters are clear, and you can actually help yourself, others? You know what I mean? That's almost like take the stick out of your eye before you help others, as it said in the Bible, something to that effect, right? The highest way we can help others, we want to ease the suffering in the world, right? Of course we do. But what we start to realize is you're battling against other levels of consciousness. And a lot of people are not able or ready to hear what you're saying. And that's okay. But the thing is, it goes back to the greatest way we can help anybody is by raising our own consciousness and just going within more and more and more. That's the greatest way we can help somebody is by working on ourselves. That's what's the craziest thing. And it's the same thing anyway, because you are everyone. When you're working on yourselves, you're literally working on everyone. Because the higher you get, whoever you're around, the higher they're going to get. It's going to help raise them up out of lower levels of consciousness. That's it. So that's the greatest thing you can do is work on yourselves. Is just keep going toward yourself, toward the present moment, toward God. That's it. And the more you go towards that, and the more you surrender the rampant thoughts that are constantly going, the more you surrender trying to have a plan, trying to think you have any control, the more you surrender control, the more you'll be in line with the divine. You'll be channeling the divine, and we won't have these emotional tormentors that are pulling us back and forth because we have these silly attachments to this world. Yeah. Have a great day.